Conversation Season 3. This is your host, Mwangi Chege. Here, we enlighten minds, inspire people, and enrich lives. And tonight we have such an interesting topic. Human beings are social beings. We want to hang out, we want to be in places together. By the way, have you ever been invited to a party? And the first question you asked is, who will be there? It has happened to me, by the way, many times. I want to know who will be there so that I can know who I'll be hanging out with. So tonight, who will be there is none other than my friend who will introduce himself. We're hanging out at Hotel Troy off Magadi Road, just after Galleria. On the right, you'll find it there. It's a nice place to be, and we are hanging out here and having a good time. Karibu sana, Bwana Ezekiel. Kindly introduce yourself and tell us more about you.
Thank you very much. My name is Ezekiel, and by profession, I'm a counseling psychologist. And I'm here today, and I'm excited for the invitation to delve into the issue of mental health, and as well as social media and how it affects us. Yeah.
And so the topic tonight is social media and mental health. I don't know, Doc, if it has happened to you. Have you ever left the house and then 5 minutes later you realize there's something that you have forgotten?
Severally, yeah. You get to the vehicle and you're just about to drive away. Then you realize that, oh, I left my phone.
And it's so important.
And I cannot function without it.
So what do you do at that point?
At a point in time, I'll have to go back for my phone. As simple as that, because I need it.
Yeah.
It has become part of me.
Yeah.
And so I have to go back to the house and pick it.
And the same has happened to me, that the phone has not only become like, you know, the way you ladies wear jewelry and the way men, you feel uncomfortable without your belt, but that it has become more important than leaving the wallet at home. Sometimes you can borrow some money on your way, wherever you are.
Yes.
But nowadays we cannot function without our phone. And as we talk about phones, we are just talking about social media. And you know, it's one of those platforms that most of us want to be there. And it gives us the thing called FOMO, the fear of missing out. But before we dwell into how it has, affected us negatively, let's first talk about how has social media impacted our lives positively, Doc?
You see, we are in the communication age where we have seen recently the growth of 5G that is coming up. And so information is passing from one area to the next, meaning that the more information that is out there, the more people are benefiting, because through this we're able to get into research and understand what exactly is happening in a different area. So phones, and especially this internet age, we get to understand a lot of things that are happening, the trends in the industry. You were able to do all that. So social media is quite a serious topic for us to understand, and that most of these gadgets, while we might be thinking that they have a lot of negatives, when taken in a very good way, at the end of the day, they may benefit one, because this is where you also interact with others.
Yes.
You are able to interact with someone who is in America today, and you are in Kenya. You can be able to interact. During our times, those days, we used to have a lot of pen pals. We used to write letters.
Yes.
We no longer do that. So what social media has done is to open us up to communicate with others. While I was in college, I remember my friend telling me, after many years, we'll be looking for a platform to talk about ourselves when we were in college. And he said, social media, he didn't know that Facebook would come. After about 10 years, Facebook has come, and it's become a big thing. So for us, it also helps us connect back to such kind of friends. Also, social media has a way of, even killing boredom in a person.
Yes.
Because if I'm bored in the house and I just want to connect with the person somewhere, I would go out there and possibly might be inspired, because the content that runs on social media is not necessarily bad. There's content that is good.
Yes.
There's content that you can pick. A lot of books that I read, I find them on social media.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is also a gallery of beautiful memories and as well as beautiful wealth of knowledge. You are able to see things that are happening in a different country that are not also happening in your country.
Yes.
Business ventures, business opportunities are also found online. I would see someone who has done ABCD online, and I would be able to not really copy it, but create an edge for myself. I would just give an example. Over time, I'm online and I see it was like there was a small, brief movie. Would I call it? What would you call this? Um, just like a small part of the movie,
Like
and
a
this
clip.
movie is just a clip,
Yeah.
and this clip was on social media, but it was talking about Uber.
Ah.
Then in Kenya we didn't have Uber,
Yes.
so through that we now start structuring our lives and thinking, can this be also implemented in Kenya?
Yes.
So it also gives you like a blueprint of what is happening out there.
Yes.
And then also, again, it also exposes people to other things because you see, they say in our language, our local language, that the people who think that their mothers cook very well are the ones who sit at home. But this one now is exposing you, taking you to the next world, and you are exposed. So that exposure, you can be able to learn a lot.
So to say that online you see food that you have never seen your mother cook.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
You
to
can see
say-
this. You can see this. You can see this online. You can see this online.
Yeah.
If you thought Githeri was only food, then finally you see that the other guys were doing pizza.
Yeah.
And you know it benefits people even who are in the local domain. Someone from all the way from Turkana would be thinking, okay, maybe I go to Lake Turkana, fish and all that. I don't want to get to a level where I'm personalizing things and talking about people. But I think what social media does to us, it removes the mask, a lot of the mask that we have as individuals.
And it has taken quite a tangent during this season of COVID-19. I remember I used to see another shop. I will not mention the name of the organization or the company that does telecommunication, but there was literally no traffic there
Okay.
until COVID happened. And there was a queue of just people trying to get modems so that they can get internet at home, and spend work and play and reconnect through social media. And so I agree with you that social media has become has very good and positive results in a people's life.
Yeah, and I think what you've just said is that we are now getting to a new era of a lot of online shopping, because I think before then we didn't have trust online. You would not know whether someone would deliver. Jumia was the only kind of a shop online. But I think right now you can be able now to tell that there's so many shops that are coming up. We buy our shoes online. We buy our clothes online. We fit online actually. And we actually are able even to get professionals online.
Yeah.
So to me, we have gotten into a new era. And the 5G concept would also benefit us. But it will only benefit those that understand that social media can be used productively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you agree with me that social media has helped people also grow in almost all aspects of life? You
Yeah.
know the way we say physically, mentally, socially,
Emotionally, yeah.
and even spiritually.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because church has also gone online.
Church is online.
Remember, once upon a time, my pastor would preach and keep rebuking Facebook.
Yes.
That don't spend your time on Facebook.
Yes.
Today, the preaching is different.
It is different.
And it ends by, let's meet same time, same place
Yes, yes,
next
yes.
week
Next
here
week.
on Facebook Live
Yeah.
and things like that.
Pay
So
your
it's
tithe online. Now
and-
people are actually paying
yeah.
tithe online.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's
so,
amazing, yeah.
So we agree that social media is a powerful tool.
Yeah.
But on the hindsight, like many other things, social media has also brought about challenges on mental health.
Yes.
Could you shed some light on that?
Um, what I would want to bring about is the understanding of, okay, what is mental health? What is mental health? We must understand that mental health may have two different parts. There is the well-being. That means that you are at a level where you're functioning normally. And at that level, it means then if social media comes there and helps you function normally, then it has not affected your mental health negatively. It has affected your mental health normally.
Yeah.
In other words, you just survive. You're just existing in a manner that you were supposed to exist, even when mental. I don't know, even if social media is there. So social media, where it now gets to the to crossover, is when now it starts affecting you. It affects you in this manner. Say, for example, there are models online, and these models are taking you in a manner that you, when you look at yourself and assess yourself, evaluate yourself, you measure yourself low. Then that is when now mental health now comes into being, because the emotions of anger arise. Why was I created the way I was created? Two, you now start having jealousy, which is a very negative emotion. So until social media gets you there, you still are okay. Okay. So you need now to learn to be able to manage your emotions at this level. So, say for example, I went out online and then possibly I posted my photo, my birthday photo, and people are saying like, "Hey, that Kitambi," you know.
Yes.
Automatically, I might lose my self-esteem, thinking that I don't look good. So what have I done? I've compared myself. So social media has made us many times compare ourselves with models. We do not know at what level we are, because every human being is progressing slowly. Your speed is not mine,
We
and
have
we
all
have
going at
different.
our own pace.
We are moving at our own pace. So can we appreciate those paces? Today I might be the doctor. Tomorrow I might be the student.
Yes.
I might be the lecturer yesterday, but today I might be the student. So if we be able to appreciate ourselves the way we are, and then we now start appreciating that, yes, there are socialites out there, but I cannot compare myself with them because I don't know what they do. Personally, I wake up in the morning, this is what I do, and with the kind of money that I make, this is the lifestyle I have. So I cannot change to that. So they put a very high standard, and that you are trying to merge to that standard. You cannot merge to that standard. So what happens?
So it affects you
It has
negatively.
negatively. So you start having issues with the way you react, and your emotions changes.
You know, the word has gone round, and people say you cannot lose in normal life and lose on social media. So lazima utese mahali pamoja. And so
Yeah.
if I don't afford, it's not easy for me to afford a holiday.
Yes.
The one moment my company will pay
Yes.
for us to go on a retreat in Mombasa, I splash it with photos. I take photos that will take me a whole year to upload and make everyone feel bad.
Yes.
But how unfortunate it has become that social media has had those negative, effects in our lives. How do we start countering that?
Even before we get to the countering, there's a concept of, you have those photos posted. When they asked the Facebook master the other day, I think 2 years ago, they asked him, what business are you in? And he said, I'm in the lifestyle. I am in the lifestyle business of keeping. I have database of people's lifestyles. So in other words, beyond what we see as social media, we see database being harvested by people to make money out of those databases.
Yeah.
Now, one of the dangers of having even your photos online is the guys who are called bullies, online bullies, social media bullies. These are people who would pick out your photos and then convert them. You know that you have those photos that are very private.
Yeah.
But you see, you have made it public. So what would happen is that, what if they use that for blackmail? So people are using that, they're doing all that. There are moments we would even have our babies online.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, they will take that photo, get a lot of your details, and because we store all our details online, then somebody would go beyond harming your child. So if they go harming your child, you see, again, it now starts affecting you mentally.
Yes.
And as well as affect you negatively. So we need also to be cautious on what we post out there.
Yeah.
And as well as ensure that we understand that social media is social media. It is public to everyone. So cover up some things. I mean, like, let's have decorum and have some things.
So that we can keep part of our lives private.
Of course, we have private lives in our domains. When you look at in psychology, we look at something called domains. We have a place where we talk about the hidden domains. Hidden domains, and that there are those ones that are very private, things that no one knows about you, and you don't want to reveal them because they carry out a story. And that story is what possibly you would always want to keep private for people who are authorized to access it.
So then it's not right that we post everything about ourselves until, some of us do the moment to moment on timeline. You can even know they have just left the house, and when they go into the house, you can know what they're having for dinner.
Yes.
So you're saying that is not acceptable.
The internet technology is able to track like wherever you are. Like a lot of location. Say for example, you posted this photo from Troy Hotel.
Yes.
It is clear that you're here.
Yes.
So if you post another photo while now crossing Langata Barrack, then it means that you are going somewhere along that road. So even if we wanted to hijack you, it would be very easy for us to do that. Why? Because you've not kept your story, like private. So let us be cautious on what we post online, and as well as whatever is private to you, I mean, like, don't make it public. As simple as that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a short break. And when we come back, we will be looking at, the negatives. Okay. And we just started to delve a little bit on that. And when we come back, we'll be talking about the negatives about social media and how it affects our mental health or wellness.
Yes.
You'll keep telling us the difference.
Okay.
And I kindly remind me that we talk about Twitter, and for several reasons.
Okay.
This is Candid Conversation Season 3. Welcome back to Candid Conversation Season 3. We are talking about social media and the effect it has on us in terms of our mental wellness or mental health. With me is my friend Dr. Ezekiel. We've been having such an awesome time here at Hotel Troy, just off Magadi Road, and such a nice place to hang out. So, Doc, one of the other things about social media, and I said I'll talk about it, and I mentioned Twitter, is because, on Twitter, people camouflage. They change their names and end up being more of haters. I know there's a lot of good, but there's a lot of bashing. Like, especially in our country, there's a club known as TOK, KOT, Kenyans on Twitter. If you happen to be in there, if you happen to rub them the wrong way, you'll be in trouble. You
Yeah.
know, what can we say about that? And I know you mentioned about bullying.
There are so many people who are concealing their identity, and to me, when they find someone concealing their identity, behind that there is a story, and the story is a story of masking things.
Mm,
So while you find people going into Twitter and hiding their identity, then you now start realizing that someone who pretends or has pretends that they're very strong, there's something deep in them that possibly they're very weak,
mm,
because possibly they went through something, and whatever they want to do on social media is to ensure that they pay, I mean, like they revenge on what happened to them. And many of them, and I would say this is based on research, that many people who went through physical violence, physical abuse, to sexual abuse when they
mm,
were growing up, and domestic violence purely, have gotten that tendency to hide, to conceal their identity, because they are not happy about who they are. And
mm,
therefore, they just pick matters. Any matter that they feel like this is a matter that we need to talk it out, they will talk it out.
mm.
So Twitter has been a big one because of the concealing of identity, because all the others are connected to your email address.
Yes.
So if I go to social media and come and conceal my identity as as possibly a certain name that I wanted to use, then definitely you never tell who I was.
Mm,
So anonymity online is something that would have a question mark.
mm,
Because why would you not want us to know who you are? Why don't you want us to know your photo? I mean, to even see your photo. There
mm.
is something you're running away from.
There's something you're hiding.
Yes, there's something you're hiding, and there's something you do not want to address.
Mm,
But that does not mean that we don't have bloggers. We have bloggers, but if you look at the bloggers, they already have their identity. The
yes.
identity is very clear
Yeah.
that this is Nyakundi of Nyakundi, because he appreciates what he is.
Yes.
But anyone who hides their identity, then it has a question mark.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. So let's move to. I like that we have talked a bit about the nice things about social media.
Yes.
You know, it helps us to just reconnect.
Mm.
It helps us to hang out in a different way.
Mm.
But what about the negatives? Well, you know, what about the negatives?
There are many negatives. And on one positive that possibly we didn't highlight was the marketing aspect.
Yes.
That social media is a very good place for you to market your products, but you can as well attract people who want to steal from you.
Yes.
So we should also be cautious even when we are marketing our products online. So one of the negative about social media is the comparison that I think I had mentioned earlier.
Mm.
That you now get to start compare yourself with the people who are online. When you teach on customer psychology, for example, we take people through the understanding or the psychology behind advertisements.
Mm.
That if we had a nice Mercedes Benz, a brand new Mercedes Benz or a Porsche Cayenne, what will we use next to that Porsche Cayenne? Possibly a slim lady, a brown lady, and there's something we call, like, this is a standard person. This is a tick person. This is a perfect person. This is a perfect body image that you
Yes.
need to have. So if you don't have it, what do you do? Already you now start hating the body that you have.
Mm.
And that's why the cosmetic industry is doing very well. And as well as also the surgery, the plastic surgery,
Mm.
I would call it. At that direction, people are taking that because immediately you do not like your image.
You try to
Immediately
change it.
you try to change it.
Yeah.
And once you change it, some people live with that mark. And I happened to interact with one surgeon one time, and they said anyone who goes for plastic surgery
Mm.
is concealing something, a scar within them that has not been addressed. So they have a lot of unfinished business. Because you need to accept yourself. You need to get out of the denial stage. You need to get out of the anger stage. You need to get out of all those stages. And then at the end of the day, just accept yourself as you are. Go out and affirm yourself and say, Ezekiel, you look good, you know, you cannot change all this. You are wonderfully made.
Yeah.
Let us move on.
Yeah.
And it's an experience I've had myself.
Yeah.
So social media has that one negative of comparison, comparing yourself, and as well as comparing your body image and with the ones that are called now the models.
That for us, the perfect is a six-pack.
It's a six-pack
So
for the men.
For me and you, we are in trouble.
We believe you are in a very serious trouble. But go to my community where I come from.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, they are asking you, hey, how comes? When you have become broke again?
Yes.
Because to us, when you go there, six-pack for us, for them, is a man of war.
Yeah.
But this other side, the guy of the six-pack downstairs, he's a guy who has made it.
Yes.
But that does not mean that that's why possibly we have this vitambis.
Mm.
What I would think is that there is no perfect image.
Mm.
There is a preconceived or a perspective that has been laid to us. So we have been socialized in that manner that people have to be in that, take that direction. You have to have some features to be this. So that is in a community where people don't accept themselves as they are. So it makes us not accept who we are. Another challenge that comes with social media is what I was talking about, the bullying concept.
Yeah.
Whereby you release something, it was something you were celebrating an event. It was your wedding.
Mm.
Or possibly you divorce after sometimes. And this thing comes back to you in a big way.
Tulijua mtawachana tu.
Tulijua tu mtawachana. And instead of appreciating people and receiving them with a lot of empathy for what they've gone through, you find yourself now you're pushing people to the wall. And that's why we have a lot of cases of suicide, ideation, cases of suicide at the end of the day. Why? Because when I don't know how to cope with such kind of things that are said about me, and we have seen people, even kings, being brought down, presidents being brought down by just a simple comment that just was done by a malicious person who was seated somewhere. So it can actually bring you down. Social media can bring your reputation down. Thank God you can go to court and possibly be paid for that reputation, but you have lost a name.
You have lost,
whenever you've lost a name, even if it was malicious, no one will ever tell. And also the concept that you cannot tell what is truth and what is gossip. There's a lot of gossip that goes around social media,
and nowhere to confirm.
Nowhere to confirm. Have you seen people being robbed online? Yeah. There are small apps, you send a small, just a link, and then you log into that link. And because you're idle, what happens? You spend a lot of time on that link.
Yeah.
There is a link that was sent to me, and I said, okay, it's okay to check and try.
Yeah.
And what they wanted was that you're supposed to watch movies and videos continuously for about 3 hours. And you keep on increasing your points and dollars. So you do that, and then finally, once you hit their mark, they tell you must introduce at least 30 people. Where are you getting now 30 people? So I personally tried and I got 15 people, and then they say you can actually buy people online. So you pay 10,000 shillings and you have people online, and then you harvest your dollars, and they show you a dashboard of dollars. Now, we cannot be able to confirm that. Unless now we have someone who already has gone through that and that have gotten the right thing. So people have been conned online. There's also another scam that comes online. A scam of some guys from UK who are saying that they're seeking for love and all that. And so many of our ladies have appreciated it, have fallen to that trap.
Yeah.
So it has as many as possible kind of negatives, but for individuals specifically, it is that it has taken our private, our what we would call our social life. Where instead of us getting physically to go out and play, we no longer do that. The congregations we used to have, even when we congregate, we're busy with our phones. So what it is doing, it is taking away our social life. But at the end of the day, we need to salvage ourselves from this.
I like what you have said about even when we are socializing, we are still reaching out for our phones. Could that be a sign of an addiction?
It is a sign of an addiction, and many of us would think that addiction is purely with to do with the drugs, but this is taking us into a manner of great addiction. The reason is any notification that comes into our phones. If you are addicted, in fact, that's how we start knowing that you are now getting mental in terms of that there's something going strange in your life.
Yeah.
Because it means the gadgets have taken control of you. So mental health, mental illness, the onset of mental illnesses mostly start beginning when you cannot be able to control how a gadget operates in your life. So when a notification comes, you look at your phone. How long do you take to look at your phone? How long? You now must ask yourself. And there are strategies to make you never look at your phone, and which possibly we could talk about.
So how do you start managing? How do you start managing? You know, and especially I think at home, many couples fight about phones. Parents also with their children. So how do we start managing our phones, our social media habits?
To deal with any problem, you must know the time you're spending on it. I mean, like for this, you'd be looking at how long do I spend time on my mobile phone, for example. How long do I take on my laptop? How long do I take on my other gadgets at home? And people have a lot of gadgets. How long do I take? And once you now know that, say for example, when you wake up, can you be able to track your habits? Say for example, am I able to know when I wake up at, personally I wake up at 3:50. So at 3:50, what do I do first? This is the most creative time in my life. This is the most important time. I have woken up. I have fought the sleep that, because every one of us is lazy naturally.
To wake up?
To wake up, yes,
Yeah.
in the morning. So, and for me, I don't do an alarm. I have already programmed my mind to wake up at 3:50. So when I wake up at 3:50, what is the first thing I touch? Before you put your feet out of bed, what do you do? So the first thing we would always advise is that know what you do. Let it be conscious that the first thing I do is check the time. So when I check the time, what will be the next thing? Is to scroll down my phone and check. And you don't go to anything else. Many of us don't go to anything else. They go to status. It has been noted that status, because it gives you a lot of information of what other people are thinking at that time. So you don't want to miss out. And I think you talked of FOMO, where there is that fear of missing out.
Missing out, yes.
So you're like, what have other people said? So fine, you realize that they have not said much. They give you a lot of nothing, or they give you some good news.
Yeah.
And this is what you had actually was posted yesterday, because just a few people have woken up around 3:50. So once you now identify the timings, then you now go into the concept of posting some notification. Specifically for status of WhatsApp, that needs to go. And how do you make it go? Mute all notifications, be in control of them. So that now you're watching your phone in the morning, and as you're watching your phone, you're checking on, you were the one who's going to check, what did Kamau say? What did James say? So you've started now the journey of being in control of your applications.
So you don't have to check everything that is coming.
No. You only check. I already know from experience there are specific people who will post crap. But I know there are people who post a lot of sense. So I just go and scroll down and check where is Kamau here, where is Ken psychologist. People of the same, what I would say that birds of a feather flock together.
Yes.
So we'd want to fly together with people who are okay psychologically, who are stable, who control their lives, not what they have picked from the other person. And said passing it as sharing as received. Anyone kwanza you get talking about sending as received.
Yeah.
These are people who just are waiting to get any status. They have downloaded something called status downloader. So that anything that comes, they don't want to see it. They want to post it. So the other thing you also do is you delete all applications that have been installed in your phone, and you use Chrome. For example, when you want to go and connect, you go look for Facebook. I don't have Facebook on my phone, but I can access it by going to go to Chrome.
Yes.
I don't have Telegram. Telegram, you have actually to download it. So I decided, no, I don't want, because people will post whatever they want. And I'll be the person. And remember the concept of garbage in, garbage out.
Yes.
So if I receive more garbage, it means that is also what I'll start now giving. So you become what you receive.
It first affects you,
and then you start affecting others around you. Yes.
Yeah.
So you affect relationships around you. All that. And you mentioned purely that even in families, we are fighting about these phones. Why? Because of those notifications. So what if I don't have those notifications anymore? Like in my phone, I could sit here except for a call. Messages, you will never know that a message came in. Never know whether some message came in. Because you are in control of your phone. Yeah. Let this gadget be a blessing to you, not something that is taking away all your life. I mean, it's not taking away your creativity. Yeah. It has taken away creativity.
Yes.
People, even I saw, sometimes we give students exams and you find that they just need to check from their gadgets. They cannot reason. You ask them, I have given you 3 manillas and I have given you this. I would want you to do ABCD. They cannot. They have to go and Google and see how to do it.
How to use 3 manillas for
and two felt pens. So you even wonder now, are we killing our generation? Are we killing the creativity we have? So you start managing it by slowly, gradually. This is a gradual process. You cannot wake up in the morning and you have deleted all your apps. No. Spend time. Go gradually. Take these things gradually.
So that is for us, yes. Probably adults. How do we manage our kids? And because especially, in this era of 5G, like you've called it,
yes.
and the season of COVID, we literally had to buy phones for our children, and you have to install the internet at home. So how do you manage that with the children?
You see, the culture you set at home, remember, children learn what they live. They don't learn by, being guided by other people out there, peer pressure and all that. They learn a lot from their first role models, the first caregivers. These are the father, mother, and if you go ahead and you have the aunt and all that, they are observing what you guys are doing. So if I get home, and the first thing I do is that I'm on my phone, they will always be on their phones. But build a culture at home, a culture that is not penetratable by anything else. They know that there is a principle in our house. Principle number 1: we control our lives, not gadgets. So if it's eating time, there is eating time. If it's reading time, I mean, let the gadget not come between me and you, child. Yeah. And this is whereby we in some of the families like ours, we sign a contract with our kids and we tell them that this gadget, I bought it so that it can build you. But any time it's a nuisance in my family and it's taking away what is precious to me, and I've bought it, until you are 18, go buy yours.
You'll take it away.
I will take it away. So, and that's what I have, because I'm trying to instill this, that these things are there full time. And for you to be a holistic man or human being, you must be able to balance. So balance. Just balance your phone. Yeah. Balance all that. If you go to bed, I mean, like these calls, somebody calling you around midnight, or a lot of stuff that is happening around that time, let your phone be on silent mode. Have it away from the bedroom.
Yes.
Or if it's not, if it is in the bedroom, it is in a manner that it is not interfering. Because we have our baby sleeping there, yeah. You have your spouse sleeping there. I mean, be also cautious about, the people who are around you. You're also affecting them. But if you are affecting them and you're still doing it, it means that you're addicted to that phone. And what needs to be done to that phone is supposed to be taken away from you. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, what a night it has been, just talking about social media and mental wellness or mental health. But before we call it a wrap, Doc, there's someone out there struggling, they're wondering, really, how do I do that? What would your message be to them?
Always ask yourself the benefits you get from this gadget. Because for any behavior, for us, we conduct a cost benefit analysis. We analyze what are the benefits I get from the phone. Has it taken away my creativity? What if I played from this gadget? What if I took in things that are beneficial to me? Say, for example, I would play very classical music.
Yeah.
There's music that can make you more creative. So if I use the tool that I have to make me better, then that becomes the best thing about that gadget. But if the gadget takes away me, I cannot have a choma with the wazes out there. I cannot go play football with some boys that we were in secondary together. I cannot go for leavers party. I cannot go to church because it's because of that gadget. Because we have seen it, they're creeping in churches. A pastor is preaching there, and guys are busy here watching a match, Arsenal versus you. And as a Man U fan, I'm wondering, why are they doing that?
Yeah.
So anyone struggling with this social media addiction, and as well as, remember, it is affecting you. There are consequences out of it. So start looking at the beneficial things, the things that can benefit you out of that social media. And at the end of the day, it doesn't happen in a night.
Yeah.
It takes some time, but you must put your right foot forward, the best foot forward, and say, I am committed to this, and this is the direction I want to take. Through that, you will always conquer whatever addiction you have.
So there's a process, and you can actually relearn
Yes.
and unlearn some things.
Yes.
Oh, all
You
right.
can always do that because nothing was there permanently when we were created. When we came in, we have just been socialized and domesticated.
Yes.
That this is how things are done here. Yeah. But then at the end of the day, we can actually plug back the program. We can reinstall the program of creativity because God has created us as very creative beings. And this is one of the things that take away our creativity.
Awesome. What a night it has been here at Candid Conversation. We have been talking about social media and the impact it has in our lives, and especially mentally. And I believe that you have been impacted and you have learned as you go out there, relearn and learn some things, relearn others, and make social media work for you and not against you. This has been your host, Mwangi Chege, here at Candid Conversation Season 3. Remember to tune in same time, same place next week, and let your mind be enlightened, let you be inspired, and your life will truly be enriched.